Hello viewers and welcome to another episode of the Lord of the Rings The Card Game Progression Series. My name is Mitch.
And I'm Matthew.
And today we're going to be taking a look at the second scenario from the LOTR LCG core set. This is Journey Along the Anduin. So, Matthew, what did we do last time and what are we going to be doing today?
During our last adventure, we trekked through the forest of Mirkwood, and we braved many spiders. A hero might have fallen during the first turn, but we successfully escaped the forest, and having survived the dangers of Mirkwood Forest, the heroes now continue their journey along the banks of the Anduin River toward Lorien with dire news of a gathering threat in southern Mirkwood. So, in this quest, what it's most known for is the Hill Troll. We're going to see him right off the bat, and hopefully we will have ways of dealing with him. And so, Mitch, what is your deck bringing to the table?
Sure, so that is what today is all about. How are we going to manage that nasty little hill troll? Once again, I'm kind of adopting the questing role. I've got Barivore, Dune here, and Éowyn. I've got a little bit of healing in the form of Daughter of the Nimrodel. I've got a lot of chump blockers to potentially absorb a large swing from a hill troll. So just a lot of cheap, efficient allies in the form of like Hinamarth Riversong, Miner of the Iron Hills, even though in a two-player game I don't really love scrying, and even though we don't have any condition attachments to get rid of. Northern Tracker to remove locations, Wandering Toque to make sure we can block Hill Troll attacks, Forest Snare for the Hill Troll, and then Protector of Lorien again. Something that is radically different compared to the original progression series is that Matthew and I have kind of grown up a little bit as players, so I'm running effects like a Light in the Dark just to again make sure that we don't have to deal with an untimely hill troll attack of 6, and because we want to make sure that our threat is below 30, I start at 27, Matthew starts at a nice 28, and I make sure to include cards like Secret Paths to get around nasty high threat locations, and the Galadrin's Greeting to make sure to keep us below 30. But, Matthew, how about yourself?
Well, as I so often do, I am playing the predominantly tactics deck. I've got Gimli and Thalon, at this time mixing it up a little bit and adding in some leadership with Theodred. I also have some chumpy, blocky dudes in my deck, just like you, in case we need to do that for the Hill Troll or some other enemies. I do have Steward of Gondor and Horn of Gondor in my deck for some resource acceleration, in addition to Theodred, so some of that might be going over to your side, if not on my side. So we'll sort of see who's in most need of resources when those cards come out. Also, of course, I've got Feint for the Hill Troll in case we are not quite ready for him when he pops out of the encounter deck.
Well, sounds good to me. I guess this is going to be a little bit of a crapshoot, but we'll give it a good old college try.
Yeah.
All right, so before I get into the nitty-gritty and actually explain the specific mechanics of today's scenario, why don't I go ahead and make Matthew, my friend here, the first player.
Okay.
And he and I are going to be shuffling our decks, and we'll be drawing our opening 6 cards. And here's hoping for the best. So if I can remember how to actually manipulate the Octagon interface, I guess right away I'm not terribly thrilled with my opening allotment of cards here, but what about you, Matthew?
I mean, I've got good cards, but 5 of the 6 are leadership, and with only 1 leadership hero, I'm a little bit leery of that, so I am going to take my 1 allotted mulligan.
Okay, I suppose the only thought that I would have going into that is just you could use Theodred on himself.
Right.
And
right. No, and I did have that thought, yeah. But this stuff isn't so great.
Sure.
You know, other than Faramir, I would just like to see a few more tactics cards in my hand.
So. Or a Steward of Gondor or something.
Right. I think I am going to do the mulligan.
Okay.
Let's hope I don't regret it.
And I think I'm going to do...
much better. Much better.
Exact same. So I guess my mulligan, Unexpected Courage, Protector of Lorien, nice couple power cards, even Power in the Earth, which I'm using just because it's efficient, and this is the core set, so my standard for cards is low. Looks like you got a decent hand, Matthew.
Yeah, it's still leadership heavy, however, I got some of the power cards, so I have no choice but to hang on to it, but I am much more pleased with it.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, it certainly looks good to me. So now that Matthew and I are stuck with our opening hands, let's go ahead and run through the setup of today's quest. So quest phase 1 is to the river. Matthew and I emerge from Mirkwood Forest, as we so often do, this time with an urgent message for Lady Galadriel. So we're making our way along the Anduin River, trying to get to the Forest of Lorien. Unfortunately, Matthew and I are being pursued, and we're each going to have to reveal one card from the top of the encounter deck and add it to the staging area. So making sure that our encounter deck is indeed shuffled. Encounter card number 1 is going to be a copy of remove 4 progress tokens from the current quest card. So it looks like that does a whole hell of a lot of nothing.
Phew.
All right, encounter card number 2 is going to be a copy of Necromancer's Pass. So 3 threat, and we have to discard cards to get there.
Okay.
But that is phase 1A. Phase 2B is we approach the location of a small raft stashed on the riverbank, and a fearsome hill troll emerges and attacks. So we've got to search the encounter deck for a hill troll and place it in the staging area. They do not mention to add it, which becomes important in future scenarios. So let's see here. And it says shuffle the encounter deck, so I will go ahead and close and shuffle it there. And that is pretty much that. Matthew and I cannot progress while we've got Hill Troll, a Hill Troll card in play, and 8 progress. But I suppose we ready to start, Matthew?
Let's do it.
All right, so just to remind everybody, we've currently got 4 threat in the staging area. The Hill Troll is 3 defense, 9 hit points. It attacks for 6. Any, overflow damage beyond a defending character's HP plus defense is assigned as a threat gain. So it's kind of a nasty little thing, and we want to make sure not to hit engagement, threat of 30. But why don't we go ahead and do our first resource phase. We'll each get a coin, draw 1 card. Matthew, you're first player. What do you want to do?
I think that I'm not going to do anything.
Okay.
I mean, I could play the Dwarven Axe in the short term. I don't know how necessary that is. And I got a lot of leadership cards. So I'm just going to sit tight, I think.
Sure. I think the only thing just for Matthew and viewers to bear in mind is Theodred could put out a Snowborn Scout, and then he could give himself a resource. Next turn he'd get another resource. That would be enough for a Steward of Gondor.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, you've convinced me. Let's go ahead and do that.
Sure. I suppose since you don't have anything huge to sneak attack into play.
Right.
And that's at least a chump blocker in case something horrible happens. Yeah. Progress token, I assume, on our Necromancer's Pass.
Yep, let's do it.
Sounds good. And for me, I suppose, Matthew, I've got a certain attachment in my hand that involves readying heroes. Who would you like that on? Perhaps a dwarf, or...
Gimli is probably the best target for that.
Okay, I suppose Thalon wouldn't be too bad either.
No. Gimli could at least quest and then do some attacking, or attack multiple times once he gets beefed up.
But I suppose I'll go ahead and strip off 2 resources there. I will do Unexpected Courage, I suppose, on Gimli.
Okay.
But I'll pretty much leave that up to you. I've also got a copy of Protector of Lorien in my hand that could boost up defense. What's nice about this is there aren't a lot of ways for the Hill Troll to get stronger. Theoretically, I could do Protector of Lorien on Gimli. He can naturally absorb 1 attack from the Hill Troll and then potentially swing back for, if he's at, 1 hit point, he himself swings for 6. And then apart from that, it's just kind of saving up lore resources. So I suppose it's either I don't think we're very likely to encounter the Hill Troll right away, so maybe I'll hold off on doing that and just save up for allies.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, so enough of me talking. I think I'm good. And quest phase, Matthew, who do you want to send?
I think I'll send everybody.
Cool. Sounds good to me. So, Unexpected Courage prevents the Necromancer's Pass from damaging Gimli, and Thalon is going to end up killing any Eastern Crows that we're dealing with. For me, I will go ahead and commit Eowyn. So you're already sending, what, 4? And I'm sending 4 as well. And we can discard cards if we need to. So I think I'm going to hold back Barivore just in case I can get one of us to draw cards. Okay, so why don't I go ahead and send, 4, and you're sending 4. So, encounter card for staging number 1 is going to be Eastern Crows.
Lucky us.
Yes, so what's cool about this is Thalon's ability is while an enemy is revealed by the encounter deck. It's not after, so this goes off prior to Surge. Whoops. So that's going to be 1 damage on Eastern Crows. They're going to be immediately defeated pre-Surge.
Thank you, Thalon.
But they are shuffled back into the encounter deck. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in and shuffle. By the way, did you use Theodred's resource on himself?
I sure did.
Good. Just wanted to make sure we haven't missed anything. All right, encounter card number 2 is going to be a Dol Guldur Orcs. So the first player chooses a character committed to the quest to take 2 whopping points of damage.
All right.
Okay, and that's going to be Gimli, you're sure?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so that is pretty much that. We've got 6 threat that we're up against. We're going to be making 2 progress, I believe.
And don't forget the damage on the Dol Guldur Orcs.
Oh, that's right. Thank you, Matthew, because I was totally going to forget that. Yes, Thalon affects all enemies, not just Eastern Crows.
Yeah.
Okay, so travel. You would have to discard 2 cards at random to go to the Necromancer's Pass.
I feel like those 2 cards would be Steward of Gondor and Celebrian Stone or something. So the other 3 cards in my hand I'm okay losing, but I don't quite want to risk it until I've gotten the better stuff out.
Yeah, it seems like the odds of you discarding solid gold are way too high. So yeah, I guess I don't want to travel.
Okay.
For encounter phase, how do we want to deal with these orcs?
Well, they have to come down, and neither of us have ranged.
Right.
So I am certainly willing to take them.
Okay, I would appreciate that, just because I think, if possible, I want to use Barivore to draw additional cards, maybe get another Unexpected Courage. So I will allow you to generously take the Dol Guldur Orcs.
Okay.
Combat phases, they get a shadow card. There's no Hummer Horns in this encounter deck, which I'm thankful for.
Well, that's good to know. I was going to say, I'm tempted to do it undefended, because I feel like my heroes could survive and save the chump for another day, but just to be safe, let's chump block.
Okay, I was going to say I think there are 7 cards remaining out of the 42, which involve boosting attack value, and there's 1 where they don't count defense, but that's irrelevant to an undefended attack. So anyway, Dol Guldur Orcs attack the Snowborn Scout. Defending character does not count its defense, so there you go.
Doesn't really matter.
And Snowborn Scout is going to be dead, and now Matthew, how do you want to reciprocate?
Bam.
All right, so the Dol Guldur Orcs there are going to be slain immediately. I guess I could have Dune here attack the Hill Troll, but I'm not going to be able to crack its defense. In regard to drawing cards, you've already got Steward of Gondor, which is kind of the power card of your deck. I'm going to have Barivore make me draw a couple cards.
Okay.
And now I've got an option for pushing our Hill Troll back into the staging area if it does engage prematurely.
Sounds good.
So that's all from me. I guess refresh?
Sure.
All right, Control R. I'll go ahead and pull back the first player token. Wrong game.
Yeah.
And then I suppose resource phase. Let's do our resources. Draw 1 card. I've now got secret paths to overcome Necromancer's Pass.
Okay.
And I suppose I'm first this time. Bit of a bummer that you can't use Steward of Gondor, early.
Right.
I could do a powerful ally, and let's see. why don't I go ahead and put out a chump blocker for myself. I'll do 2 lore resources for... I think I will do Gleowine. So if I don't need him to chump block, I can draw some additional cards for you or me.
Nice. Cool.
And I'm tempted to not spend any spirit resources, honestly, but I think I will... Let's see, you're at 29 threat. I don't think there's anything that causes, like, immediate threat gain. So I'll do a Favor of the Lady on Eowyn, and that's it for me.
Okay. I'm going to play Steward of Gondor over on your side. I'm thinking you probably want it on Barivore, but I will leave that up to you.
Sure, that sounds wonderful. So I'll go ahead and take control.
And I will put the Dwarven Axe on Gimli.
Great.
And that's about all I can do.
Cool. So Gimli is currently attack value 6. I will go ahead and trigger Steward of Gondor, since I don't have to worry about any resource depleting effects. And I guess for quest phase, I will just go ahead and send Eowyn for 5. We're in the same situation we were last round.
Okay.
I suppose a little bit better, actually.
Okay.
But how about you?
I will send 2 for sure. Would you like Theodred's resource? If not, I can use it to save up for Celebrian Stone next turn.
I suppose it would be... I'm probably going to be drawing through a lot of cards, so I wouldn't mind it on Eowyn just to get Northern Trackers out as quickly as possible. But I'm also not, like, in desperate need.
Okay. I'll give it to myself for one more turn.
Sure.
Just because I can Celebrian Stone either Theodred or Thalon, and then leadership, everything else is fairly cheap, and I can probably just afford with this 1 resource per turn. So the question is, do I send Gimli or not at this point? I think we're questing fairly well, and we have to kill the Hill Troll, so there's really no need to send him. Right. So we might get 2 enemies or something, so I'll just hold him back.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Okay, so you are going to be sending 2. I'll go ahead and make our total 7 for the time being. Again, I want to hold back my 2 dudes for possible card draw here. And let's see what we get. Encounter card number 1 is going to be a copy of Gladden Fields. So if we need to, I can Secret Paths. But it's the active location. We have to boost our threat by an additional 1, which kind of sucks. But we're going to be hitting 30 anyway, so maybe not the end of the world there. Encounter card number 2 is going to be a copy of Goblin Sniper. So
thanks, Dune here.
Yeah, exactly. We cannot optionally engage it if there are other enemies in the staging area. But yeah, Dune here can pick it off, and if it's in the staging area at the end of the combat phase, so if Dune here kills it, then it is not. But anyways, looks like we're going to be up against 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 threats. So we can each discard a card, or I could use Secret Paths. How do you feel about... Well...
I'm totally fine with getting rid of 4 Gondor. I don't know if I'm ever really going to play it.
Yeah, why don't we just do that? I'll get rid of Power in the Earth. So we each discard a card to Eowyn. That makes our total 9. Just to verify, it is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're going to go ahead and break even. We don't quest successfully, but that hardly matters. For travel, do we want to go to the Gladden Fields?
Do you have good stuff in your hand where you don't want to discard? For Necromancer's Pass?
I just think that Necromancer's Pass being at 1, I actually don't have anything too crazy in my hand. That is a good point.
It's just less threatening if your hand is junk.
Yeah. I've just got some allies that I would like. I think I would prefer to go to Gladden Fields, since you're going to be hitting 30 threat anyway.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, so I'll just go ahead and Control A to make that the active location. And then, I suppose for engagement, I suppose we should wait before dealing with the Hill Troll. Okay.
Right.
So I will also engage with nothing. For combat, I don't have any attacks to deal with, but I'm going to go ahead and have Dune here swing for 3 at the Goblin Sniper.
Super fun.
And it's going to die before it damages us. So,
excellent.
Matthew, why don't you draw 1 card from Gleowine? Not
expensive ally, but okay.
And draw another 2 cards, courtesy of Beravor.
Well, I got some Aowen fodder here.
Right.
But also maybe some chumps, so not too bad.
Right. Unfortunately, no wizards and no feint. But who knows?
No, that's what I was hoping for.
Shall we refresh?
Let's do it.
All right. Control R. You are once again first player. And let's do our resource phase and draw 1 card. I ended up getting a copy of our wizard companion.
Oh, fun.
The table talk rule dies hard, apparently.
Yeah. So, let's see. Now, my plan was to play Celebrian Stone, so I'm questing a little bit better with either Theodred or Thalon. But then I got Guard of the Citadel, who would be quite the lovely chump for the Hill Troll, even though I have to deal with that extra threat. I'm going to play the Horseback Archer. He's quite expensive.
Well, and before you do that, just while I'm thinking, I could use Beravor or Gleowine to have you draw additional cards.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to do that or not. I guess the only thing is if you were to get like a copy of Gandalf, that would be useful.
Sure.
But then that's also, kind of a low % chance.
Yeah, I've got 38 cards left.
Mm-hmm. So, I suppose, do we want to do that just to see if I get you anything to deal with the dumbass hill troll?
Sure, we certainly can, because feint would certainly be an option as well.
Right. Why don't I go ahead and have you draw 1?
Well, no good.
And draw 2 more.
Oh, good grief.
Well, Citadel Plate is interesting.
Yeah, I think I'm going to play that, actually.
Cool.
So I'll do Citadel Plate on Gimli.
Okay. So he... sorry, I guess he's sitting at 7 HP and he's got 2 defense.
Mm-hmm. And then, I suppose, should I do Celebrian? What would you do? Celebrian or Guard of the Citadel?
I suppose, first of all, I guess Octagon didn't do it automatically. We each have to raise our threat by an additional 1 point because of the Gladden Fields.
Correct.
My bad there. Anyways, sorry?
What would you play? Celebrian Stone or Guard of the Citadel?
I suppose probably just Guard of these. Well, okay.
I know, it's a tough call.
So let's say if the Hill Troll engages with you, it'll swing for at most 7 if it gets a boost, and that would be 5 damage to Gimli, and he would be alive. So you don't necessarily need a chump blocker. I guess Calabrian Stone?
Yeah, let's do it. And I'll put it on Thalon.
Great.
And that is it for me.
Okay. And I suppose also because we want to get rid of our Gladden Fields if possible, and I've got a copy of Secret Paths, which could help with that. I'll go ahead and use Steward of Gondor to boost up a couple resources. Anything else from you, Matthew?
Nope, I am good.
Okay. So I've got 5 resources kicking around. I could do our wizard, but I think I should probably wait until there's like some little dude that I can pick off or something.
Okay.
If there's an absolutely desperate situation, I've got a light in the dark in case we have like a second hill troll come out. But why don't I do 1, 2, 3, 4 to do a couple copies of Erebor Hammersmith, which can absorb 4. Return the topmost attachment. Do you have an attachment in your discard pile?
I don't believe that I do.
Okay. But I'll go ahead and return power in the earth to my hand, so I can maybe discard it to Aowen.
Cool.
And I could also do Protector of Lorien. No, I want that 1 remaining lore resource. In fact, why don't I just be really conservative? I'm only going to do 1 Erebor Hammersmith, and then I'll do 1 resource for Protector of Lorien on Gimli there if you want to take control.
Sure.
So that way, there is no way that things are going to go all the way sour and he will die.
Perfect.
Okay, and that's all I'm going to do. So, questing, who do you want to commit?
I will send a total of 4.
All right, sounds good. For me, I suppose I will do a total of 5. So we've got 9 up against 4. And let's see what we're up against. So encounter card number 1 is going to be Misty Mountain Goblins. They remove progress. No one cares. Encounter card number 2 is going to be a copy of Reveal X additional encounter cards from the encounter deck. So we're going to be revealing 2 additional cards.
Yikes.
Okay, so encounter card number 1 is going to be each player raises his threat by 1 for each character not currently committed to a quest.
That's not horrible.
2, 3, 4. So I'm going to be increasing by 4. I don't have a cancel when revealed.
Okay.
And you just increase by 1?
Yep.
Okay. And then encounter card actual number 2 is going to be each location gets +1 threat, but neither of us discard a card. So this is temporarily going to be getting another threat, so I'll say add threat token right there. And let's tidy up our staging area. Okay, so we're going to be up against 4, 5, 6, 7. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1 lore resource for a secret paths to nullify that location. So we're only going to be up against 3, and that is going to be 6 progress, which I'm cool with.
Sure.
So I'll control V, the Gladden Fields, to add that to our victory display, and I'll add 3 progress to the river.
Cool.
And that is going to be the quest phase. So...
And you know what I didn't do was Theodred's resource. How quickly I must forget. Would you like the resource?
Sure. I could probably use that on one of my spirit characters. So let's do Aowen here.
Great.
And again, you know, it's not like that would have changed anything. I didn't have any cancellation in my hand. So viewers, pardon Matthew and I for focusing on creating a semi-entertaining video here. All right. But I guess for travel, I'm cool not traveling. As I'm
I mean, I've got lots in my hand that I don't mind losing, so I'm actually okay traveling if you want.
You know, and I guess we're still not encountering any snowborn scouts or anything along those lines.
It is quite a bit of threat.
Yeah, you know, let's just do it, I suppose.
Sure.
So, if you want to do 2 random discards. All right. Guard at the Citadel, not a big loss. 2 Guard of the Citadel.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I guess couldn't have gotten much better than that. So.
No.
All right. For engagement, we've got to deal with our hill troll presently. So.
And I will certainly take him.
Great. And I'm happy to take the Misty Mountain Goblins.
Great.
So, why don't we go ahead and move on to combat, starting with the first player. Shadow card for you, shadow card for me. And after a brief disconnect here, Matthew, how do you want to deal with your hill troll?
I will defend with... Hold on. Quick strike. I don't have enough to kill him outright, though, do I?
Let's see. You are going to be swinging for 6.
Oh, yeah. Nowhere near enough.
Okay.
Okay, I will defend with Gimli and then ready him right back up with Unexpected Courage.
All right, sounds good. Let's pray for a gentle shadow effect. And no shadow effect at all. Awesome. But we do have a Banks of the Anduin as a shadow card situation going on, so it's not in play to be put at the top of the encounter discard pile. So Gimli is going to take 4 points of damage, Matthew.
But I can discard cards to Protector of Lorien.
You could, but let's see here. If Gimli does take 4, then he's going to be 6, 8, swinging for 10. And that's going to be, what, 2 shy?
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and take the 4.
Okay, if you are sure, and then you'll still be at 3 hit points. Okay.
Yep. And then you've got to do your defense.
Right. So I'm going to go ahead and have Erebor Hammersmith Exhaust to defend against this attack. And let's go ahead and flip the shadow card, which is going to be nothing. So this is going to be a point of damage to my Hammersmith. We will pull a progress token from the current quest, and that is pretty much going to be that. So for attacking in return, what do you want to do?
I will attack with Gimli.
All right, so Gimli swings for an incredible 10, and that is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points of damage. Didn't get my math wrong this time. And the Heal Troll is going to have 2 HP remaining, which puts him at a nice threshold for my Wizard to potentially finish him off, or you've got your Quick Strike next turn as well.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Plenty of different options there. For me, I'm going to have Dune here attack. Unfortunately, it's only for 2. Whoops, 1 too many point of damage there. So the Misty Mountain Goblins are going to be able to survive to fight again another day. End of combat. Let's go ahead and get rid of our shadow cards and refresh.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm now at threat 35, which is bad, but I've got Gandalf to drop me back down. I will be first player, and we can do our resources, and each draw 1 card. I didn't get anything too great, neither did you. Let's see. Okay, I think I want to use Gleowine on myself to draw 1 card. I ended up getting a copy of Unexpected Courage, which is pretty cool. I want to use Barivore on myself to draw another couple cards. I got a cancel when revealed, and I now have a Forest Snare, which is interesting. I will use 2 resources to boost up Barivore, I'll use Steward of Gondor to boost Barivore up 2 resources. I'm pretty tempted to drop out Gandalf just to decrease my threat down to a safe number.
Sure.
And I think I'm going to do that. So why don't I go ahead and do, let's see here. I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go ahead and put out Gandalf.
Enough! I am Gandalf, and Gandalf means me!
And I will drop my threat back down to 30, and he's going to hang out until the end of the round, and yeah, I think that's it for me. Again, I've got, well, no, I changed my mind. Who should I put Unexpected Courage on? Perhaps Thalon?
Sure.
Okay, so why don't I go ahead and do that? Unexpected Courage on Thalon there. I was going to drop it on Barivore, but I don't think that's necessary. All right.
Okay, cool.
Whoops, sorry there. All right, so what about your planning?
And I'm not going to play anything.
Okay, that makes it simple.
Yeah.
All right, so quest phase, and we've got an enemy engaged with one of us. I will go ahead and send 5.
And I'll send 4.
All right. So once again, we're going to send 9, but this time we're up against a whopping 0 threat. So encounter card number 1 is going to be Dol Guldur Orcs. So
Yikes.
2 damage to a character committed to the quest. Theodred or Thalon maybe. I could also do Eowyn, but that's pretty dangerous. So I suppose maybe Theodred.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so sorry to kind of dump that on you, but
That's okay.
deal with it. Encounter card number 2 is going to be, hey, here's what I was trying to avoid. So deal 1 damage to each character controlled by each player with a threat 35 or higher. That is a non-issue. Right. So we're up against 2 threat. We're going to make 7 progress. So that is going to be
Nice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. For some reason, I guess our little quest card got flipped. So as soon as this hill troll is gone, we'll be able to progress to quest card 2, but we're currently unable. So location is now gone. Travel phase, we don't have any options. Encounter, what do we want to do here? So,
I can take the orcs.
okay, I suppose much obliged for your doing that, although it doesn't matter too terribly much. And yeah, I guess at the beginning of combat, I get a shadow card first, and then you, starting with the highest engagement cost enemy. So for my Misty Mountain Goblins, I'm going to go ahead and have the ephemeral Gandalf defend.
Okay.
And there's no shadow card. Well, yeah, you know what I mean. No shadow effect.
Right, but it's nice to see that card go away.
Yeah, it's going to pull one progress token off our active quest. And now for you, you've got a Hill Troll and the Orcs.
Yep. I'm going to pay 1 for a Quick Strike.
Great.
And Gimli is going to Quick Strike the Hill Troll.
Okay, so grand total of 10 is going to result in 7 more damage. So the Hill Troll is going to be at negative 5 HP. It's going to be immediately added to our victory display. Its shadow card is going to be discarded with no effect, and that would have given it a +1 attack value boost. I guess if Gimli would have defended against 7, that would have been 5 points of damage and he'd have died, but you could have discarded Protector of Lorien 3 times and he'd have lived.
Right. And then Thalon will defend against the orcs.
Sure. And they get +1 attack, so he'll take 1 point of damage there.
Okay, and then Gimli will smash again.
Okay. So I guess just slightly out of order, but no big deal. So,
sorry.
It's all good. I could care less. I just want to avoid all the negative comments. So, Dune here and the Hammersmith.
I just like smashing orcs. I get so antsy.
Right, exactly. I have a little bit of a premature problem myself, Matthew. So my enemy is destroyed, your enemy is destroyed, and I guess I'm liking our staging area here.
Yeah, can't ask for better.
Yeah, but with the Hill Troll gone, players cannot defeat this stage. We've defeated Quest Phase 1. That means 2A. After defeating the Hill Troll, we're able to board the raft, embark upon a river voyage. As we depart, the enemies pursue, harassing us as we attempt to navigate a river. Our enemies are harassing us. Matthew and I find it difficult to maintain balance and effectively fight them off. So we no longer make engagement checks, but we can still optionally engage one enemy. So Dune here is nice. And we reveal 3 encounter cards each phase.
Nice.
So hopefully those northern trackers aren't too far away.
Right.
But I guess that's pretty much it. Shall we refresh, Matthew?
Let's do it.
All right, so Control R, you are first player. Let's go ahead and do our resources and draw 1 card. I got another nice little deal with locations effect. And I guess planning is all you.
Huh. Well, I drew our wizard friend. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do.
Well, let's see. You've got quite a bit of damage on your dudes.
Yeah.
You've got the lovely sneak attack Gandalf combo at your disposal.
That's true.
So I guess our goal is just really to make a lot of quest progress, knowing that once we hit Phase 3, there's going to be a little explosion of encounter cards.
Yeah. I guess I'm just not going to play anything. I mean, I could play the Horseback Archer just because I've got nothing else to use my tactics resources on. I'll go ahead and do that. Who knows what we're going to get.
Sure.
But
I suppose, yeah, worst case scenario, you've got like a defender dude hanging around.
Right. And that's all I'm going to do.
Okay, and Matthew's getting pretty close to that dangerous 35 threat threshold, but he's got a wizard to deal with that if I don't manage to draw into Galadrim's reading or something.
Don't forget to discard your Gandalf.
Yes, right. So thank you for catching that. At the end of the round, discard Gandalf from play. Rest in peace, Gandalf. Unfortunately, no Horn of Gondor in play. I will go ahead and have Barivor gain some resources, but I don't really have anything to use. Well, yeah, I'm gonna... I suppose last round there wouldn't have been any benefit to my discarding Power in the Earth. This is maybe slightly suboptimal because I'm not gonna be returning an attachment to my hand, but fudge it. I'm going to put out Erebor Hammersmith just as a quester.
Sure.
And I guess that's it for me.
Okay.
Okay. So, questing, what do you want to do?
Same deal, I'll send 4.
Okay. So you're going to send 4. I will go ahead and send 5. 6. I will send 6. So that makes a total of 10 for you and I.
Okay.
And I guess I'm good with that. So,
Okay.
encounter card number 1 is going to be Necromancer's Pass.
Okay.
Encounter card number 2 is going to be a copy of Enchanted Stream. Encounter card number 3 is going to be a copy of the East Bite. So we have to travel here, but that's not really the end of the world. So we're going to be up against 6 threat. That means 1, 2, 3 progress. I could use Secret Paths, but I don't know. I don't think it's that important to do it. I guess I could, just for 3 extra progress.
We do have quite a bit to make, but it's up to you.
Fuck it. I'll go ahead and do it. So,
All right.
Secret Paths. Let's go ahead and do 3 additional progress.
Nice.
Nullifying Necromancer's Pass there. So, we have to travel to the East Bite. That's going to be annoying because it sucks up 6 quest points. But apart from that, I think I'll have Barivore draw myself a couple cards.
You know, I might as well, I'm sorry, pitch 1 to Eowyn. There's no reason I shouldn't. It's already in play, Celebrian Stone.
Yeah, sure. So why don't I go ahead and add 1 quest progress there? I probably could have done the same, but it's no big deal. So I went ahead and added, what did I do? Just to make sure, I did another Secret Paths in Daughter of the Nimrodel, courtesy of Barivore. Gleowine adds another card, so I've now got healing that I can use next round for us.
Cool.
Okay, so I've drawn all my cards. Let's say that I did that during combat, and I guess let's refresh.
Okay.
So why don't we control our refresh? I'll steal back the first player token, and we're going to go ahead and do resources. I'll draw 1 additional card. It is pure garbage. But I'm now first player. I will activate Steward of Gondor, and what I'm going to do is I'll do 3 resources off of Barivore for some healing that I'll trigger after staging.
Okay.
And in regard to my spirit resources, I'll have Gleowine exhaust. I drew kind of junk. I think I will play it, though. My little River Song fellow.
Okay.
Actually I won't. I'm going to save that resource for another Secret Paths.
Cool.
I'll have Barivore draw me another couple cards, hoping for a Northern Tracker. And unfortunately, that is not the case. 28 cards remaining in my deck. I'll do 2 off of Eowyn for another copy of the Favor of the Lady.
Okay.
And I'm good. So, what are you up to?
Okay. I don't have a whole lot. I drew Blade of Gondolin, and I'm just going to play that on Thalon.
Okay. Makes sense. +1 attack when hitting an orc. And I guess that's it. So, that'll bring us to questing. You're at kind of a scary threshold, threat-wise. I don't know if this is a good opportunity for sneak attack or not. For my questing, I'm going to go ahead and do a total of 7.
I mean, I kind of hate to send Gandalf just to quest, but I could.
Well, yeah, and you kind of need to decrease your threat.
Yeah, all right, I'll go ahead and do it. And so during questing, I'll send Gandalf.
Enough! I am Gandalf, and Gandalf means me!
And add him. And so my threat goes down by 5.
All right. And are you just doing sneak attack, I assume?
Yeah, sorry, I took off the resource but didn't play the card.
Okay, cool. Great. All right. So you're...
Well, you know what? There's no reason for me to... Yeah, never mind.
Yeah,
never mind.
just for the sake of giving you another chance to play him.
Right.
Yep. Okay, so I suppose we're good. And what are you sending total 8?
Yep.
All right, great. So total combined is 15. And let's see what we're up against. So 3 encounter cards. Encounter card number 1 is going to be Marsh Adder, so a 3-threat enemy there. Encounter card number 2 is going to be a Misty Mountain Goblins. Encounter card number 3 is going to be a Wargs, which is great. They love to leave the staging area. Or return to the staging area.
Right.
But, okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're up against 12, which means we're going to make 3 progress. I think what I want to do is I will spend 1 resource for a copy of Secret Paths to nullify Necromancer's Pass. And I think I'll discard a copy of Power in the Earth to boost up Eowyn's willpower by 1. And, okay, so let's say we're up against 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 threat. And that's going to be 7 progress, which is going to be enough to clear the East Bite.
Okay.
Yeah, I suppose let's just go ahead and do that. So, 1 progress on our quest card, and the East Bite is fully explored.
Cool.
So, let's go ahead and, let's see. I'll say that I discarded Power in the Earth after Secret Paths. Okay, so for travel,
quest is done, so Gandalf goes away.
Yeah.
It's back to my hand, and I'm going to play Valiant Sacrifice.
Nice.
So I can draw 2 cards.
Great. Nice little combo there.
Yep.
For travel, we could go to the Necromancer's Pass. I'm not honestly afraid of losing anything. So,
sure.
Yeah, I guess, why don't I do that? I'll make that the active location, and I will right-click on my hand and do a random discard, which was Protector of Lorien. Another random discard is going to be Daughter of the Nemerdel, which I could kind of care less. During our... Well, let's see. I suppose there's still no huge rush. So what's interesting now is we do not make engagement checks. So Dune here is going to be able to kill the Wargs by himself.
Okay, cool.
We can each optionally engage an enemy. I'm okay with... I guess... I assume you want to take, like, this Marsh Adder. Because you'll be able to kill it.
Okay.
I could either take the Misty Mountain Goblins and just kind of tank it for a little while.
We could probably leave it. Dune here can pick away at it.
Sure. So why don't I...
We're questing fairly well.
Go ahead and do that. Yeah, so we'll just leave those guys be. 1 shadow card for the Marsh Adder. And who do you want to defend?
Swings for 4. That's kind of a lot.
Yeah, and if you want, I can, before it attacks, I can pull 2 points of damage off of one of your heroes.
I'm just going to do the horseback archer. He's not doing much.
Yeah, sure. Rest in peace, my friend. That is going to be choose and discard 1 attachment from the defending character. So great. I'm glad you didn't take 4 undefended, because you've got a few attachments in play. Unfortunately, your horseback archer is going to be slain.
Yep.
So rest in peace, my friend there.
Yeah.
I suppose for attacking, Dune here is going to launch a swing of 3. That's going to be 2 points of damage on the Wargs in the staging area. They are killed. And how do you want to deal with Marsh Adder?
I will use Gimli and Thalon.
All right. So what even is that? Gimli is swinging for 10, and then Thalon makes it, I guess, 12. So suffice it to say that is going to be a very dead Marsh Adder, and that's going to be a discarded encounter card. So what, we've got currently 10 victory points, not bad.
And we can put 1 progress on the Necromancer's Pass.
Ah, that's right. So 1 point of progress on our active location, and I guess, shall we refresh once again?
Let's do it.
All right, so refresh. I will toss you the first player token. Let's go ahead and do our resources, draw 1 card. I, again, kind of get garbage. And, yeah, what are you planning here?
Well, it's the return of the horseback archer.
Nice.
And I will play a guard of the Citadel, and that's it for me.
All right. Okay, so I will go ahead and use Steward of Gondor once again to add some resources to Barivor.
And it wouldn't surprise me, dear viewers, if I have forgotten Theodred the past couple of turns. But you know what? I won't forget him this turn.
And speaking of forgotten, I suppose I did forget Daughter of the Nimrodel.
Oh, we were just
pulled
talking
a couple
about
of points off of Theodred.
Let's just say that we remembered that one.
Yeah, I was going to say. So again, viewers, we're focused on the video, not so much playing an immaculate game here. Obviously, there was nothing preventing us from doing that. So Theodred's got 2 fewer points of damage on him. I'm going to exhaust Gleowine to have myself draw 1 card. I'll exhaust Barivore to have myself draw 1 card as well. Man, 24 cards remaining in my deck, and I just cannot catch a break. But I'm going to do 2 Spirit Resources, and I never really thought that I would say this, but I'm going to go ahead and do 2 copies of Power in the Earth on Enchanted Stream, and I think I'll do a Lore resource for Hinnamarth River Song.
Okay.
And I suppose we can just kind of try and maybe press... Well, we probably don't want to push through too hard because Quest Phase 3, spoiler alert, we're going to reveal a couple encounter cards, and then it would suck if we had to engage with a bunch of enemies.
Right.
So I suppose we can kind of take things a little bit slow. Why don't I actually pull back one of those Power from the Earths, and I'm going to do a copy of Unexpected Courage on Barivore.
Okay.
And I will ready her with that effect. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and leave it at that. And I suppose that's all I'm going to do.
Okay.
Okay, so questing. Who do we want to send here?
I will send 4.
Okay. I think I'll send 6, 7, 8. I guess I'll send Barivore as well. I'll do total of 10, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you sent 4. So we're going to be looking at a total of 14. Let's see what we're up against. Encounter card number 1 is going to be a copy of Gladden Fields. Counter card number 2, Misty Mountain Goblins.
Okay.
Encounter card number 3 is going to be another Gladden Fields. Yikes.
Wow.
Man, wish I had those Northern Trackers out. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're going to make 3 progress. 1, 2, 3. So our active location is going to be
I will pitch 1 card because there's no reason not to.
Right, and I will go ahead and get rid of 1 myself. So let's do another couple of points. So 4 quest points remain. All right, so I'm still going to be unable to kill off one of these Misty Mountain Goblins if I leave it in the staging area, but I could deal with it conventionally. Okay, so I think I might do that. But anyway, for travel, do we want to go to one of these Gladden Fields, or do we want to maybe leave them? I guess
I'm okay traveling, I suppose.
Yeah, same. 1 threat is not too significant. So we'll go ahead and travel to one of those.
Okay.
I guess for engagement...
I can certainly take an Orcs.
Yeah, sure. And I'll take 1 as well. So for combat, shadow cards are distributed as such. How do you want to defend against yours?
I'll use my guard.
All right. So let's go ahead and see what it gets. It's going to be nothing, but it does strip a point off our quest.
Yep.
So your Guard of the Citadel is killed.
Yep.
For me, let's see. I've got to deal 3 points of damage to it. Daughter of the Citadel, I hardly knew you, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it under the bus. It gets +1 attack, so she is killed. That's going to be another point of progress removed from our current quest. Attacking in response.
I'll use both so we can make another progress.
Right. So it is very, very dead.
Yep.
1 progress on the active location. It's gone. For me, Dune here and the Erebor Hammersmith are going to result in an adequate number of damage. Mine is killed as well. And I guess let's refresh.
Sounds good.
All right, so refresh. Boost your threat up by an additional 1. So I'm currently at 35. All right, and you did yours.
Yep.
So let's do our resources. Draw one card. First player is now me. I'll do Steward of Gondor on Barivor. And I will do... Let's see. You have got a wizard in your hand, but that's okay. I think what I want to do is I will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 resources off of Barivor. I guess before I pay my resources, I'm going to have myself draw a couple of cards. Finally got a Northern Tracker. Unexpected Courage readies Barivor. I'll have Glaywine. No, I'll not have him do anything. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and play Gandalf.
Enough! I am Gandalf, and Gandalf means me!
I will decrease my threat to 30.
Okay.
And I think there's not a lot of reason to hold off on a spirit resource.
Okay.
Although I would not mind one from Theodred. So I'll do Northern Tracker, and that's all for me.
All right. Probably too little too late, but I'm going to put Horn of Gondor on Theodred.
Sure.
And that is all I can do.
All right, and just note that this is an errata card, so it's when a character is destroyed, not when a character leaves play.
Right.
For you viewers out there, and I guess let's go ahead and commit characters to the quest.
Yeah.
So we would have to make 8 progress to successfully pass, and that's kind of a lot. But let's see what we can do. I can do 6, 7... 8, 9, 10.
Okay.
I think I'll do 10, and that's going to be a Northern Tracker progress token on each of these.
Okay.
And you're sending...
My usual 4.
Okay. And do you mind if Eowyn picks up that resource token?
Sure. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you so much. And I guess I could also have sent Barivor. I think I'll hold her back. Okay. All right, so I'm good. Let's go ahead and see what we reveal. Encounter card number 1 is going to be 1 damage to each character with 35 threat or higher. Not a big deal. Yep. Encounter card number 2 is going to be Banks of the Anduin. Encounter card number 3 is going to be the Necromancer's Reach. Let's see. That's really not the end of the world. I guess let's just take it. I could cancel it, but I think I'll just save it for another time. So that's going to be quite a bit of damage going out. My Hinamarth is dead. And,
hey, he's destroyed.
Oh, that's right. So, yeah, destroyed, and that's going to be a resource for you.
Yeah.
Cool. But looks like that is going to be a total of 13 willpower that we've sent to the quest. So that's going to be 1, 4, 5 threat that we're up against. That would be 8 progress, and that's actually going to be exactly enough to pass. So
nice.
That means we've got 16 out of 16 progress, and how convenient that we don't have enemies in play. So we move on to Quest Phase 3A. The ongoing harassment from our enemies has forced Matthew and my raft to the shore. We have to confront their ambush head-on. If we survive this attack, the Golden Woods path shall be open before us. But we're not quite there yet. So we reveal 2 encounter cards per player, add them to the staging area. No more quest phase for the remainder of the game, but as soon as there are no enemies in play, Matthew and I have won. Something tells me we're going to see another hill troll, but I guess let's see what happens here. So, encounter card number 1 is going to be nothing. Encounter card number 2 is going to be this dude. It surges.
And he surges.
Encounter card number, let's see, it's, Thalon is commit to the quest. So, like I was saying, encounter card number 2 is going to be Dalguldur Beastmaster. Encounter card number 3 is going to be this, which does nothing. And encounter card number 4 is going to be Eastern Crows, which surges. Encounter card number 4 is going to be Chief Dane Uftak.
Oh my.
Or Chief Tan Uftak.
Right.
So it looks like we've got a boss enemy, out to deal with.
Yeah.
But no more quest phase means no more possibility for a hill troll. Unfortunately, we do not skip engagement checks anymore. So let's see. Okay, so what do we want to do? If we want to travel, well, what is it? We skip the staging step of the quest phase.
Right, we still have to quest, but we skip the staging.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, so I vote we may as well go to Gladden Fields to get rid of that threat, I suppose. So let's make that active. And then insofar as engaging with enemies, we've got the Wolf Rider, the Eastern Crows. Okay. For optional engagement, so I could easily deal with, if I take, Wolf Rider, then the Crows come down to me, and then if you want, I'm trying to think if it's possible to do this in one additional round or something. Why don't I optionally engage with Wolf Rider? Do you want, Chieftain Uftak just to get rid of him?
Sure.
Okay, so I'll give him to you. And then engagement checks, which we still do, Eastern Crows comes down to me, and this Dulguldur Beastmaster can kind of just hangs out in the staging area. We ran out of our... Sure. Although, I suppose I kind of don't have enough attack to deal with all of it, so...
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, okay, sounds good to me. All right, so we've done travel, we've done engagement. For dealing out shadow cards, starting with me, and then you, Chieftain Uftak, that is after he resolves his attack, I believe, is how that's interpreted.
He did get an errata, or at least a clarification, and I'm not sure if this card is reflecting that.
Do you want to check the FAQ real quick, if you don't mind?
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Sure. So, the Chieftain's force effect here, according to the FAQ, says that these kinds of effects, the wargs also have a similar sort of effect.
Right.
Resolve immediately after step 4 of enemy attack resolution.
Yeah, so it's once everything is said and done. So Uftak is going to be swinging for 3, and then next round, if he lives that long, he'll be attacking for 5. But looks like I've got some enemies to deal with first. So let's see. I think I want to do... I've only got to conjure up... So I've got 4 characters. I guess there's no reason to take any silly risks or anything like that, as tempting as it is to do undefended attacks. Let's do Wolf Rider versus Erebor Hammersmith. Shadow card is +1 attack, so it's going to be 3, and that is going to destroy my character if you want to add 1 resource. Nice. And then my other attack, I'll do Eastern Crows versus Dune here, and that is going to be nothing, so no damage.
Okay.
And for Chieftain Uftak...
Horseback Archer.
All right, no risks. Shadow card is... Ooh. Defending player chooses and returns an exhausted ally.
Oh, my.
So this is going to be... Oh, wait. I've got Hasty Stroke. Okay.
Phew.
I was so excited for you to lose another hero. Hasty Stroke. So that shadow effect is going to be canceled.
Thank you. Nice.
But the archer is destroyed.
Yeah. And another 2/2.
Right. Nice. Not bad. So, man, Horn of Gondor, even post errata, putting in work.
Yeah.
Okay, but for me, I'll do Gandalf to kill the Wolf Rider. So that's gone. And Barivor kills the Eastern Crows, which is going to be shuffled back into the encounter deck, which, by the way, only has 6 remaining cards.
Okay.
Kind of good luck we didn't find a second Hill Troll. And, I guess for you...
I will attack with both so we can make a progress.
All right, so that is a ton of damage. Chieftain Uftak added to the victory display upon defeat. Pursued by Shadow is, of course, discarded. And I guess, that's 1 point of progress right there. Not that it really matters. We just have to get rid of these enemies here. And I guess since you're sitting on a wizard, that would be...
Yep.
He's got 5 HP, though. That sucks.
I know.
All right. Well, anyway, shall we refresh?
Let's do it.
All right, so refresh, boost up your threat by an additional 1 point because of Gladden Fields. I will make you first player, and then let's do our resources for what feels like the 30th time, and draw cards.
Play Snowborn Scout for 1. And let's just nuke the, let's see, Enchanted Stream, I suppose. It'll get rid of that one.
Sure.
Let's do the active location. Why not? I don't know if it really matters.
Well, I guess, let's just get rid of that.
The Northern Trackers can get rid of the Enchanted Stream anyway.
Oh, that's right. Totally forgot about that.
Yeah,
thing.
which is why I said active.
Yep, my bad. I've been away for too long, community.
Yeah.
So, Gladden Fields is now gone.
And then I'm going to play Gandalf.
Enough! I am Gandalf, and Gandalf means me!
For 5.
Okay. And what do you want to do with his ability?
The wrong one. I'm going to just put some damage on the Beastmaster. Just because it's more fun, because we don't care about score.
That's right, and neither should you, dear viewer. So, I suppose the Beastmaster takes some damage. Probably would have been more sensible for Matthew to draw cards or something.
Meh.
Well, I guess we're not going to be doing staging, so it's not as if we're at risk of evil storms or treacherous fogs.
Exactly, and I'll play a Horseback Archer for my remaining resources.
Sounds good. I will use Steward of Gondor, 2 more Barivore resources, and...
Oh, and your Gandalf should have gone away, just as a side note.
Oh, that's right. I always forget. My apologies.
I wish he stuck around.
But of course he's not destroyed, so Horn of Gondor doesn't trigger.
Nope.
So there's no staging, but we still have to actually quest.
Right.
God. Theodred's not going to be able to throw me a resource. I want to do a third favor of the lady, but I'll save resources for a hasty stroke.
I don't know if it matters that much, but okay.
Yeah, I'll have Barivore draw me a couple cards. I'll have Gleowine draw me 1 card. I did get a Galadrim's Greeting, but I don't have enough resources to use it. All Unexpected Courage, ready Barivore. And I think I'm good, Matthew.
Okay.
So, questing. Who are you sending?
I'm just going to quest, I
guess
8.
All we need to send is 4.
Well, then that's 4 then.
Okay, great. So you've sent 4. I will send no one. And guess what? We skip staging. So
Cool.
we make no progress. We, blah, blah, blah. Right. Travel. Well, okay. I guess Northern Tracker,
No reason not to.
First off, cleared out those. So you didn't even need to send 4, but it doesn't matter. We may as well travel to Banks of the Anduin. Matthew, do you want to engage?
And that would have a
Beastmaster?
That would have a progress token on it because it would have been in the staging area. Because the Northern Tracker.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And you do need to commit him to the quest, technically.
Yes. Okay. So after an hour, apparently my play is deteriorating rapidly, as is my mastery of the English language here.
And I'm going to have Gandalf defend this attack.
All right. So Dulguldur Beastmaster gets double shadow cards, double nothing, Necromancer's Reach, and the Hill Troll. So we did end up 4 cards remaining in the deck. We did see a second Hill Troll. Matthew, can you manage to conjure up 2 points of damage?
I think so.
Let's see here. Gimli makes it 10, Thalon 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's see here. That's 14, so negative 13 HP. Dulguldur Beastmaster is going to be destroyed. Once there are no enemies in play, the players have won the game. Matthew, you and I have done it again. One shot, 1 kill. We've journeyed along the Anduin. So...
Indeed.
Let us reflect upon our experience. What do you think about the second quest from the core set?
This is still a fun quest. I think I played it within the past couple of months with modern decks, and it is just a snooze fest. It's far too easy. But using core set decks, I think it still delivers a really good time. So I enjoy this one. I think it's fun. Certainly a lot of damage on my heroes. But it was fun. What did you think?
I had a pretty good time. I think it was fun using a lot of cards I don't normally see, like a Light in the Dark. Even though I didn't get the opportunity to use it, it was always there as insurance. And if we'd have gotten an early second Hill Troll or raised our threat or something, it would have really come in handy. So I had a good time. I feel that in a core set only environment, this is still kind of a challenging quest in that it has a lot of opportunity to go all the way bad pretty quickly, but it was a fun time. And hey, wouldn't you know it, we started the game with 6 heroes, and miraculously we've still got 6 heroes. So I had a good time. I suppose, Matthew, we've been here for an hour or so. Let's wind it down. If people want to hear more of your chatting about Lord of the Rings, the card game, where can they go to hear you?
Well, if you were looking for an in-depth Lord of the Rings LCG podcast focusing on strategy, deck building, and the metagame, be sure to check out the podcast that I'm a host of, the Gray Company podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Facebook. Just Google the Gray Company.
Well, certainly sounds good, and be sure never to miss an episode, dear listeners, viewers. But hopefully you enjoyed another installment of the Lord of the Rings, the card game progression series. It's fantastic to be back. Apparently the curse of forgetting triggers like Theodred, and now I'll have to add forgetting to discard Gandalf to my drinking game for this video series here. Yeah. But I had fun. Hopefully, Matthew, you had fun.
Indeed.
If you want to get in touch with me, I'm the Hive Tyrant on Twitter and on Facebook. It's always humbling and fantastic to hear from each and every one of you. So if you want to support the ongoing progression series, feel free to kick $1 or $2 to the Hive Tyrant on Patreon. But with that said, be sure to check back in again soon for much more Lord of the Rings LCG content to come.